Hello and welcome to Mastery Muse, to our first ever live stream. I'm super excited, also a little scared. I hope everything is going to work out the way I imagine. And welcome to my three wonderful viewers, four viewers actually. Feel free to let me know in the chat where you're dialing from. And today I prepared something very special, a very simple tool, but really powerful to deal with difficult choices. A lot of choices that we take in life are extremely difficult, extremely complex. It's not only about picking your breakfast, but sometimes these are really hard decisions. Should you go for family or prioritize career? Should you study programming or should you become an artist or performer? There are lots of different choices. And to deal with dilemmas, one coaching tool consists of 4 different questions. And to go through this tool with me, you just need a pen and a piece of paper and your own dilemma. So let's get started. Cool. Let me just adapt a little bit. It's great that I don't have any viewers right now, so I can do some crazy stuff. Cool. Okay. Welcome to Mastery Moves. Today I want to show you a coaching tool that I use very often to deal with dilemmas. Very many choices that we need to take are really, really hard. And to deal with them, very often we use, oh, I'm so nervous. Okay, the first 2 minutes are just bloopers. Oh my God. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's a part of a learning process. So today we are dealing with dilemmas. Dilemmas are difficult choices. You might have a choice to prioritize your career, or you might ask yourself if you should prioritize a family or maybe live in one country or another. And to go through this choice decision-making process, there is a tool that we use in coaching. I want to walk you through it. So maybe you have your own dilemma, or you can join in my dilemma. My dilemma is about, what should it be about? Actually, I have so many. Maybe one of them that I can deal with today is to decide what I'm going to do on a specific day, which is 13th of May. Because there is a conference I want to attend, but I also bought a ticket without realizing that the concert takes time at the same day because I don't plan so much half a year in advance. So now I have a dilemma. I'm stuck. What should I choose? I cannot be in both places. So to do this exercise, you can grab a piece of paper, grab something to write, and you can fold it in 4. I'm going to show you how. So in half. And that's in 4. Then if you open it, you have this 4 quadrants, right? And these are the exact, you need these 4 spaces. If you have bigger handwriting, maybe you can take multiple pages just so you can compare them. So how to deal with dilemma? First thing you need to write is what your dilemma is actually about. And in my case is I want to decide if I should attend the conference or go for a concert. So I'm gonna write this down. Or maybe I should take a different topic. What do you think? Maybe something more relatable. I want to decide if I should move to a bigger city. I live in a smaller one, so I want to decide if I should move to a city or live in a village or in a small town in a village. Okay, that's my topic. I want to decide if I want to move to a city or live in a village. So I have 2 choices, A and B. And the next step is to ask myself why I even want to resolve this dilemma. Sometimes people don't want to resolve their dilemmas. They like to be going back and forth. So if you think about it, why is it important for you to answer this question? For me, it's important because I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to live in a place that makes me happy. I want to live in a place that makes me happy. I'm going to show you that I'm writing all these things down. So I want to live in a place that makes me happy. What else? What will I have when I decide already where I'm going to live? If it's going to be a city or a village. Maybe I could write down quickly. Welcome to the dilemma for today. Should I live in a city or a smaller village? I want to live in a place that makes me happy. I also want to have a fulfilling life. Want to have a fulfilling life. And it should also be healthy for me. I want to lead a healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle. So these are the things that are connected for me to this dilemma, to this decision. That's why I want to decide, because I want to have happiness, I want to have a fulfilling life, and I want to lead a healthy lifestyle. But I can do both in a city and in a village, right? So this is it. This is why it's a dilemma. Right, now, if you have your dilemma, you write first step your topic, what is your dilemma about, and then you write down why it's important to you, or what will you have once you find the answer. And then we start going through this 4 squares. So in the first square, I'm gonna write A, B, not A and not B. Not A, not B. So A is the city, B is the village, and then not A and not B. And the questions that you're asking are, what will happen if you choose one of the options? So the first option for me was to move to a city. If I think about moving to a city, for me, it's either Innsbruck or Munich, because these are the closest ones to where I am here now. And moving to a city, if I move to a city, how would it look like? What would I get if I move to the city? And I can write that I will never need a car. Will never need a car. My car is broke, so it's anyway a good fit, but it's really challenging to get organized without a car in a small place. I will never need a car. I will be close to the cultural, will be close to the cultural events. What else will I have when I'm in the city? This is why the exercise takes quite some time. It could take anywhere between half an hour and 1 hour. And in the end, maybe you still will not reach a decision. It's always a surprising discovery process. I also don't know exactly where I will end up with this, but just to let you know that this is the importance of a structured decision-making process as well. So I will never need a car, and I will be close to the cultural events. What else could I have when I'm living in the city? All the errands take less time. All the errands take less time. There are doctors around me and so on. There are doctors just around the corner. The corner. And there could be more noise, which is not something positive, but it still will happen if I move. There is more noise and less nature. And I could go to the gym. I could go to the gym. Right. This is what I wrote down in the first quadrant about living in the city. The second one is about living in the village. So what is happening? What do I have? What do I gain by living in the village? Well, if this scenario happens, which is pretty much what I am here now, I'm surrounded by nature. I'm surrounded by nature. And surrounded by nature, and organizing things is a bit harder. A bit harder. What else could there be? Well, I'm living in a village. It's hard to do shopping without a car. I need a car. Ideally, I have a car or access to a car. I don't need to own it. Access to a car or a better public transport connection. What else is happening where I live in a village? I can hike easily. I live in Austria. I can hike easily and spend time in nature. Nature without traveling. So that's the second quadrant. So again, we started with a topic, with a dilemma. In my case, it's deciding if I want to live in a city or in a village. And once you write your own dilemma down, you ask yourself why it's even important for you to resolve it, so you don't go back and forth. And I wrote down that I want to live in a happy place, I want to have a fulfilling life, and also lead a healthy lifestyle. And then I started writing down what would I have when I live in the city, and what would I gain if I live in the village? What will happen when I live in the village? Now I'm going to move to the third space, which is not A. So what's not going to happen when I live in the city? It could be very similar to the second question. However, just asking a new question in a new form already can help you get to new insights. So what's not happening if I live in the city? I don't sleep so well, maybe. Last time I left, don't sleep so well. And I pay more for rent. I don't save money. Don't save money. Last time I didn't sleep so well because we lived in a very, very noisy part of a city, although it's not even a big city. What else is not there? There are no stars above my head in the night. Above my head. And the air quality is worse. So this is what I won't have if I move to the city. What else? If I'm not in the city, I don't sleep so well. Maybe I don't save money because the rent is higher. There are no stars above my head, and the air quality is worse. This is what I wrote down, and everybody writes down different things. I'm gonna move to the fourth one now, which is not B, so not a village. So what would I have? What would I not have if I live in the village? And I would now the things that come to my mind is easy access to my friends. Easy access to my friends. What else will I not have? Nothing else comes to my mind. So this is the exercise. That's it. This was the exercise, but now something happens with it. If you write down, maybe I take it from the start again. So you first fold your piece of paper, then you have your dilemma. Why it's important for you even to resolve it. And then here you go through different options. So the first option, which in my case is living in the city. The second one is living in the village. Then not living in the city, or what would I not have if I live in the city, and what would I not have if I live in the village? And after going through this exercise, you look at this page, which you wrote, and just analyze the things that you wrote down. This dilemma, living in the city or in the village, could relate to many, many people. But everybody will write something else because we are individuals. So we all think differently. And when you look at the page, the question is, what can you tell about it? In my case, I can tell that nature is quite important to me. It appeared in multiple places, that I'm surrounded by nature. If I live in the village, I would lose it if I would move to the city. Quiet space is also important to me. That was something I didn't want to have in the city. The problem really comes down to the access to my friends. This is what I wrote in the last one. I didn't even think about it in the first one because my brain wanted to dump all the logical, straightforward reasons. And usually the real reasons come only in the later quadrant. So in my case, it was easy access to my friends. And now I know this, I can deal with my dilemma much, much better, because now I understand that maybe the place where I'm living right now, which is rather a village or a small town, is actually good. And the only challenge that I need to tackle is the access to the cultural centers, to my friends, and to the city, which is all the reason why this dilemma started. Maybe I can give you a different example as well. What could be a different example? Maybe you have an idea. Maybe should I stay in Austria or move to a different country? Very often dilemmas appear because something happens in our life. Like in my case, the car broke. I didn't want to buy a new car right now, and anyway, I question cars, but I did have one, and this triggered this reflection, this dilemma. Like, should I still stay where I am or should I move now? And a different thing could be, yes, should I stay in Austria or should I move closer to my family, for example, or should I move to a warmer place? And then I could take another piece of paper and go through this again. So I would write down, I'm gonna just walk you through it without writing now. First question you ask yourself is, what do you want? And you write the answer. So for example, I want to decide which place is better for me to live, or I want to think about whether I should live in Austria or in a warmer country, in my case. Then the next thing is to ask yourself, what would you get by finding the answer? Why is it even important to you? Why is it a dilemma? Why is it a problem for you? And there you will find out multiple reasons. So, for example, well, I don't want to get depressed in the winter, for example, in this case of Austria or a warmer country, or I want to get challenged and change my environment and maybe learn a new language even and immerse myself in a new culture. This all could be the reasons why you started considering moving from your place to another one. And then once you folded this paper, you go through 4 elements. So what happens if you stay in Austria? What happens if you move to another country, a warmer country? What will not happen if you stay in Austria? And what will not happen if you move to another country? And after this, you go through, you look at the page. Hi, Stephanie, thank you so much for your comment. Also nice to see you and read from you. So this is the exercise, yes, to deal with dilemmas. There are lots of them because none of the decisions we take are easy. And yes, where was I? We finished this 4 quadrants. Yes, once you have all those reasons written down, you can look at the page and realize what really causes the problem, what causes this dilemma in the first place, and what are the values behind that are competing. And then you can move closer to the solution. The exercise, of course, is not applicable to all, and it will never solve a lot of problems as well, because some of them are more complex and require more thinking, but it will help you get closer to a solution. So in this case that I had the first one, my solution is easy. I need access to my friends, easy, and this is my priority. So I need to organize it. And it could be car sharing, or it could be even writing to our town hall and asking for more public connections. Maybe now I can maybe give one more example. I'm going to take another paper and we can walk through it together. All right, piece of paper. Maybe this time I'll take an example from career. So I want to decide, for example, if I should work in a small company or in a corporation. I worked with both, so I know exactly what how it is. And as you can see, I'm folding the piece of paper because I need 4 squares to be able to compare what I'm doing. So that's it. So if you want to join me and have a piece of paper with your own dilemma, you can also write down your dilemma on the piece of paper. In my case, it's I want to decide if I should work in a smaller company or a big corporation. I wonder if you think that I'm very picky in my life because I'm asking myself this kind of questions. But this is just a example, right? I gave 2 different examples, and one of them I'm not considering that much. So that's a dilemma. If you have your dilemma, that's cool. And if not, you can think also about this one. Maybe it's also relatable to you. So I have my dilemma. The next question is, what will I get if I find the answer? Like, why is it even a problem for me? So why do I want to think about it? And once I decide, I will feel, maybe I will feel that I am in charge of my own career path. Maybe something like this. Feel in charge of my career. And what else could be important? Maybe feeling challenged. And also feeling happy. Why not? I'm doing it a little quickly because I don't want to bore you, but I could think about it much longer. And when coaches use these exercises in the coaching sessions, they give the clients all the time in the world to really think this through. So this exercise that I'm just summarizing in 10 minutes, sometimes it really takes the whole coaching session. So we have the reasons, and then we open the page and we go through A, B, not A, not B. So A is working in a smaller company, small. B is corporation, not A, and then not B. Again, I'll wait for you in case you also are doing this exercise. And I'm going to start with the first question. So the first question is, what will happen if you go for this option? So what will happen if I work in the small company? I work right now in one, which is really cool. So I have good connection to all my colleagues. That's one thing that jumps to my mind. I have good connection to all my colleagues. And there are no silos. And by that, I mean, there is no strict division. There is some division, but in the end, I can contribute. Oh, this is what I'm going to write. I can contribute to multiple departments or teams. Contribute to multiple departments or teams. What else could be there when the company is small? Good connection, no silos, contribution to different teams. So my job is actually quite diverse. I have a quite diverse job. Then the corporation. The second option is what happens when you go for the second option. And I don't know about your dilemma. I'm gonna start thinking about this one. The question is, what will happen if I go for this other option? So the corporation, what will happen? And right now, I feel that corporations are maybe a bit more stable. Maybe this is just my bias. Corporations tend to be more stable. And they have clear career paths. Maybe it's also part of stability. Mm, and to be honest, not many other things come to my mind right now. Uh, Maybe they have more budget for training, but it doesn't have to be specific to corporation, to be honest. So I'm not gonna dive deeper into this, but this is how the page looks like right now. And I'm gonna move to the third quadrant, which is about what will not happen if I work in the small company. And now I realize that my dilemma, or I have a thought that my dilemma is maybe not specific enough, because small companies are so many, they come in so many sizes and shapes and formats. But what will not happen is I will not have to deal with office politics, ideally. No office politics. Actually, maybe I should write it in the second one. Huh. I'm realizing now that it's challenging to do the exercise and explain it simultaneously, but I hope that you can follow still. So the question now is small company. What will not happen if I stay in small company? Yes, there will be no office politics. And what else will not happen if I stay in small company? Mm, maybe I won't, maybe there will be no larger network, so no bigger network, no new relationships. Maybe these are the things that jump to my mind right now. So I wrote down some thoughts that I had there. And not be, what will not happen if I go for corporation? What will not happen? And I really don't know what will not happen. There is nothing that jumps to mind. So I think there is really nothing. And this is also how it could look like. And once I look at this exercise, the next step would be to look at the whole page and see what jumps to mind. And what I realize that the important things about this decision, this whole dilemma, are having connection to my colleagues, building new relationships, contributing to different departments, and also some stability and career progression. These are the things that I realized, and now I can take them, list them, and assess both places, both working places, using this criteria. So this is how this exercise works. It changes your dilemma into a set of criteria that are important to you, a set of values that you can use and pursue, and also communicate later if you know it. Right, I gave you 3 examples for this exercise. I'm very curious how you feel about it, if you have any follow-up questions, or maybe not related questions. I am going to give a moment to see the chat if anything pops up. And I'm very thankful that you joined today. And I'm also super thankful that it seems to be working. I did have some problems in the beginning because I wanted to start this stream originally at 6, and I clicked start at 5 very briefly to see if everything works. And it showed me totally not prepared for like 2 seconds. And later this link didn't work anymore. So I needed to replace the link. So that's my first learning. And I'm going to follow up with these wonderful people who joined me today to ask them also for your feedback and what I could improve the next time. That's it from me today. Next Friday, there's going to be another video. There is a new month, so I might create another teaser and explain what I have in mind for the next month. I think of December as a time of self-reflection and self-awareness because of preparation for New Year in a way. So I'm going to definitely pursue that with self-awareness topics. Thank you so much for joining me today, and see you next Friday. Bye.